আসসালামু আলাইকুম বন্ধুরা, শুভরাত্রি। বেশ দীর্ঘদিন পর বলা যায় আমি আপনাদের মাঝে আজকে ফেসবুক লাইভে। আপনারা জানেন কমিউনিটি টক্স, সেটা কমিউনিটি মানুষের কথা বলে এবং বিশ্ব কমিউনিটির কথা বলে। সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম থেকে আমি মোহাম্মদ হাবিবুর রহমান, পেশা একজন শিক্ষক, একজন সমাজকর্মী। দীর্ঘদিন এই কোভিড পিরিয়ডে আপনাদের সাথে লাইভে ছিলাম এবং গত 2 মাস লাইভে ইরেগুলার ছিলাম। আমার আসলে শারীরিক কিছু প্রবলেম, হিয়ারিং প্রবলেমের কারণে, হয়তো এক্সেসিভ ইউজ অফ ডিভাইস। আপনারা জানেন যে কোভিড কালীন আমরা সবাই আসলে কিছুটা মোবাইল এবং ল্যাপটপ, বিভিন্ন যে ইলেকট্রনিক ডিভাইস গুলো আছে এর মধ্যে নির্ভর হয়ে পড়েছি। আজকে বেশ দীর্ঘদিন পর ফেসবুক লাইভে আপনাদের সামনে। আমার সাথে গেস্ট আছে, বাট তার আগে আমি কিছু কথা বলে নিতে চাই। কোভিড এর আপনারা জানেন যে দ্বিতীয় ওয়েভ চলছে, আমরা সেকেন্ড ওয়েভ বলছি। সারা বিশ্বে সেকেন্ড ওয়েভ চলছে এবং যদিও আমরা কোভিড এর এই পরিস্থিতিকে কিছুটা সামলে নিয়েছি অথবা অগ্রাহ্য করছি, মানতে চাচ্ছি না, তারপরেও কোভিড এর পরিস্থিতি আগে যা ছিল তার চেয়ে সারা বিশ্বেই, এখনো যদি আমেরিকার দিকে তাকাই, আমরা যখন চূড়ান্ত পর্যায়ে দেখেছিলাম গত 2-3 মাস আগে, তার চেয়ে এখন কিন্তু আরো ডেঞ্জার জোনে তারা আছে। অর্থাৎ বাংলাদেশও হয়তো বা ওয়েট করছি, বাট খোদা তাআলা, আল্লাহ তাআলার কাছে আমরা সবসময় প্রার্থনা করি সবাই এবং চাই যে আল্লাহ তাআলা আমাদেরকে নিশ্চয়ই এই যাত্রায় আমাদেরকে রক্ষা করবেন। তো আমি, আপনারা দেখছেন হয়তো আমার ফেসবুক পেজে যারা আছেন, কোভিড এর এই দ্বিতীয় ওয়েভকে মোকাবেলা করার জন্য, প্রথম ওয়েভে ছিল যে কোভিড মোকাবেলার জন্য আপনারা মাস্ক পরুন, আধা ঘন্টা পর পর সাবান দিয়ে হাত ধুন অথবা স্যানিটাইজ করুন, মাথায় ক্যাপ পরুন, প্রোটেক্টিভ ড্রেস পরুন। এগুলো কিন্তু এখন আমরা দেখছি যে কিছুটা কমে গেছে। বর্তমানে যেটা সেকেন্ড ওয়েভকে মোকাবেলা করার জন্য বলা হচ্ছে, জীবন চালিয়ে যেতে হবে, কর্ম চালিয়ে যেতে হবে, চাকরি, ব্যবসা বাণিজ্য সবকিছু চালিয়ে যেতে হবে, বেঁচে থাকার জন্য লড়াই করতে হবে কোভিড এর সাথে। এবং এই অদৃশ্য ভাইরাসকে মোকাবেলা করার জন্য সারা বিশ্বে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেলথ অর্গানাইজেশন, পাশাপাশি যত দেশি বিদেশি অর্গানাইজেশন আছে এবং বিভিন্ন দেশের রাষ্ট্রপ্রধান এবং স্বাস্থ্য মন্ত্রণালয়, প্রত্যেকেই নেতৃবৃন্দ কিন্তু একটা ঘোষণা দিচ্ছেন যে কমপক্ষে কোভিড মোকাবেলার জন্য আপনারা মাস্ক পরুন, মাস্ক পরুন এবং মাস্ক পরুন। বলা হচ্ছে যে এটা আসলে ড্রপলেটের মাধ্যমে ছড়ায়, হাঁচি কাশির মাধ্যমে ছড়ায়। একজন থেকে একজনের মুখে যদি সেটা যায়, নাকের মাধ্যমে আসে, সেটা দ্রুত গলায় অবস্থান করে 4 দিন পরে হয়তো সেটা যদি খাদ্যনালী দিয়ে যায় অথবা ফুসফুসে যায়, সেখানে ফুসফুসে গেলে সে তীব্র আকার ধারণ করে এবং আক্রান্ত করে ফেলে এবং সেখানে প্রাণঘাতী আমরা দেখছি যে অনেক মানুষ মারা যাচ্ছেন। এই চিন্তা থেকে মনে হয়েছে যে আমরা কেউই যেহেতু এই অদৃশ্য ভাইরাস থেকে মুক্ত না, আমি নিজেও না, আপনার কেউই মুক্ত না, যে কেউই আক্রান্ত হতে পারে। এবং সবচেয়ে যেটা আমার কাছে টাফ মনে হয়েছে, অনেক কেস আমরা দেখেছি যে বাসায় থেকেও আক্রান্ত হচ্ছে। গত 6 মাসে অনেকে এরকম আমার পরিচিত মধ্যে আছে যে বাসা থেকে বের হননি, এরপরও দেখছি যে তারা আক্রান্ত হচ্ছে। তখনই আসলে শঙ্কাটা কাজ করছে যে আসলে এমন কি হলো, এমন কি ডিজিজ যে বাসায় থাকলেও আক্রান্ত হয়, বাইরে গেলেও হচ্ছে না, এরকম কিছু বিষয়। অর্থাৎ তখন থেকে আমার নিজের ভেতরে যে চেতনাটা আরো বেশি দৃঢ় কাজ করছে। মনে হলো যে না, আমাদের জীবন পরিচালনার জন্য বাইরে যেতে হবে এবং বাংলাদেশ সরকার, মাননীয় সরকার প্রধান, মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী শেখ হাসিনা ডিক্লেয়ার করেছেন, নেতৃবৃন্দ ডিক্লেয়ার করেছেন যে দেশকে অর্থনৈতিকভাবে সমৃদ্ধশালী রাখার জন্য আমাদের প্রত্যেকেই কর্মে থাকতে হবে, তবে নিরাপদে থাকার জন্য মাস্ক ব্যবহার করতে হবে। পাশাপাশি সম্ভব হলে কোভিড থেকে বিরত থাকার যে স্যানিটাইজ করার যে অপশনস গুলো আছে সেগুলো মেনে চলতে হবে। সেই ধারাকে অব্যাহত রাখার জন্য সরকারি প্রচেষ্টার পাশাপাশি বিভিন্ন যে বেসরকারি লেভেলে বা সরকারি অন্যান্য প্রতিষ্ঠান আছে, তাদের সাথে তাল মিলিয়ে মাস্ক পরার এই অভিযানকে দৃঢ় করার জন্য, কোভিডকে প্রতিরোধে সামান্য প্রচেষ্টা হিসেবে CSWPD, যেটা আমার স্বপ্নের একটা প্রতিষ্ঠান, পিপলস ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ বাংলাদেশ, হেলথ 21, মাদকদ্রব্য নিয়ন্ত্রণ অধিদপ্তর ঢাকা উত্তর সহ বিভিন্ন প্রতিষ্ঠান, আমরা সবাই ফাউন্ডেশন, আমরা দেখছি হেলথ 21 সহ বিভিন্ন প্রতিষ্ঠান, আমরা একত্রে হয়ে মাস্ক পরি, করোনা প্রতিরোধ করি। আসুন করোনা প্রতিরোধে সামাজিক আন্দোলন গড়ে তুলি। এই স্লোগানে, নো মাস্ক নো সার্ভিস, সরকারি স্লোগানকে সামনে রেখে আগামী 30 দিন অর্থাৎ 1 মাস ব্যাপী সারা দেশে 64 ডিস্ট্রিক্টসে আমরা এই মাস্ক অ্যাওয়ারনেস ক্যাম্পেইন পরিচালনা করছি। আজকে ডিসেম্বর 6 তারিখ আজকে জয়পুরহাট জেলায় আমাদের মাস্ক বিতরণ কর্মসূচি অনুষ্ঠিত হয়েছে। তো আপনাদেরকে উদাত্ত আহ্বান জানাতে চাই, আমার ফর্মাল সেশন শুরু করার আগে আপনারা অবশ্যই মাস্ক পরবেন এবং আপনার পাশে যিনি থাকবেন তাকে মাস্ক পরতে উৎসাহ দেবেন, সচেতন করার চেষ্টা করবেন। তো আজকের যে সেশন 40 থেকে হয়তো 45 মিনিটের একটা সেশন, এই সেশনে আমি আমেরিকান একজন গেস্ট, আমার এক বন্ধুকে আমি ইনভাইট করেছি, যে কোভিড কালীন ইম্প্যাক্ট অফ মাইন্ডফুলনেস ডিউরিং কোভিড কালীন কিভাবে ফুল মোডে, অন মোডে অথবা ভালো থাকা যায় সেই চেষ্টায় আমি আপনাদের সাথে পরিচয় করিয়ে দিতে চাই। আজকের অনুষ্ঠানের আমার গেস্ট, মাই ফ্রেন্ড কানি ফ্রম ইউএসএ। হ্যালো কানি, হাউ আর ইউ?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, and I'm very happy to see you. You know, it's good evening from my side and good morning so far, right? In your area.
Yeah, it is. I'm so incredibly humbled and honored, and thank you for all that you do for the world, for your students. I'm just incredibly grateful to have conversation with you today. So thank you.
Very good, Kani. Let me just share my few words with you. You know, this is the platform Community Talks BD. This is a Facebook page virtual platform, and you know, myself, Habib Rahman, currently associate professor and head of the Department of Sociology and Social Work at private university, the People's University of Bangladesh, and my passionate organizations, social service organizations, community social work practice and development foundation. So my YouTube channel, Community Talks, all are very from enlightened by the term community, which is very vital this time, and you know, community bonding, community relation, we feeling sentiment, right? And reciprocity among the community members. So many things we'll describe gradually. Our time is initially, I think, 40 minutes. So could you please share with our audience, friends, about you, your profession, your family and community, this time how you are passing, right? Initially, 3 to 4 minutes you can share.
Okay.
Can you please?
Thank you. So a little bit about me. I primarily work as an occupational therapist with children 0 to 12 years old. I have a master's degree from Long Island University in health and science. I'm currently in school for my doctorate at Thomas Jefferson University, and I am cultivating a mindfulness-based program, a teacher training for teachers to implement with students in grades 1st through 5th grade. The intention of the program is to help strengthen teacher-student dynamic as a way to help promote increased self-efficacy and as a way to help promote mindfulness meditation in the classroom environment. A little bit more about me. I also do life coaching. I have a certification from Refuah Institute. I've been a certified life coach for about 12 years now. And I am also a college professor. I'm an adjunct professor at Long Island University during the semester. I teach child development, and I've helped co-teach pediatric intervention courses. And as of a few days ago, let's see if I can find it, I am a recent published author of a book, and the book is called Breathe, Breathe, Breathe. And the intention of this book is to help not only children, but parents as well, learn to cultivate gratitude through the power of the breath. And it's in a fun, simple picture kind of way, and it can show everyone a sample of a page. So let's say, for example,
Can you just one thing? Can I request you to see, just show the book? It's amazing. It's a very interesting book, so right? Breathe, breathe, and breathe. So, excellent, excellent. So you will describe. This is hopefully make a connection between children and parents, or breathing of children and parents, so right? So you carry on, please.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the time, children are very hypersensitive, especially 0 to 7 and onward, and they're picking up on the parent's energy. So if a parent is having anxiety or stress or sadness or pain, the child may not be able to verbalize what they're experiencing, but the child is almost like a sponge, and it's very likely that they're picking up on what the parents are experiencing. So it's not only the child or the parent learning mindfulness or learning meditation, it's really about embodying, and especially for the parents, for them to check in. How are they coming into interaction with their child? How are they connecting with their child? How are they having conversation with their child? And that directly has that impact on how the child is going to be. And the big focus of my research is in schools and the teachers and the teacher-student dynamic. And research are showing that when teachers, or even I'm sure it would most probably be generalized with parents, when teachers are having a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, it can result in a hostile, a negative, a very confrontational environment, versus when a teacher is having an environment where it's more calm and open and collective, that can result in more of positivity, connection, opportunity for conversation and interaction. So the way the teacher, the way the parent is presenting themselves directly has an impact on students and on children. And the intention of this book is really not only, it's not really necessarily for the child, it's really for the parents and the child. And the idea that always comes to mind is, if you think about it, when you're on an airplane, the flight attendant says that make sure to secure your mask first in order so that you can better be of assistance. You can't just not have your mask on, not have like a self-care practice, not be in touch with yourself, and then have expectation for someone else to be able to do something, say something, be something. Need to cultivate or embody some type of practice first. Help yourself first before really having any expectations, maybe not even having any expectations of anyone or anyone that you're interacting with. And it goes back to parents and adults and caregivers serving as models for children. If you want the child to have less anxiety or less stress, how is your own stress? How is your own anxiety? If you want your child, quote unquote, to be happy, how is your happiness? How is your joy? And it's coming back to oneself and checking in with oneself, because everything that we're seeing within our lives is reflection. If we're not liking something, we want something to be a certain way, act a certain way, but then it's a reflection. What I see in you is what you see within myself. And if there's triggers, if there's thoughts, if there's anxiety, if there's challenges, ultimately it's just being projected back onto myself. And it goes back to the teacher-student dynamic. It starts with the teacher.
All right. Excellent. Just one thing, the pressure, right? Mental pressure, mental torture, agony, grievance, pressure, internal pressure of mind among the children and the parents, even in the teacher, suffer different during this time, COVID time and normal time, or post-COVID time. Definitely it might be different. And this time, I'm asking you, I'll just go on discussion on mindfulness. I'm coming later, but one thing I love to ask you, this time all children in most of the countries of the world, they are just occupied and they are stuck at home, right? They are not happy at all. So normally they are becoming crazy. The young children are crazy, but COVID made them super crazy this time, right? It just made them obstructed at home, stopped at home. So it's really very tough for the parents, for the teachers even, because teachers taking classes online version, which is, physical appearance and online. Definitely there is a huge gap, because posture gesture is very important to manage students. So as a life coach, as a motivator, as an educationist, as a therapist, companion, actually you have so many trainings, right? I know. I've gone through your profile. So with a composition as a versatile leader, especially the mentor of the young people. So how could you suggest us then, being a parent, being a father, how I can console or I can manage my kids at home? Because all day long they're at home, they are study but routineless study. There is no routine, specific routine. They're making some assignments, making some maths, and doing maths, English is forgotten. Doing English, science is forgotten. But the parents, they're a bit crazy in that sense that their children is losing everything. So in this point, my question is specific few notes, how you can suggest us to manage our students like children at home this time, being a parent, right?
Yeah. So I think you mentioned a few really incredible points. The anxiety and the stress and the fear and the pain and the sadness has all been there. It's been there pre-COVID, and now things are kind of coming out, and it's almost like this vomit is coming out, and things are like really heightened, and anxiety and stress is on a whole nother level of things how it wasn't necessarily ever before, especially now lockdown and children are stuck at home and children aren't having the opportunity to interact and play with their friends or with their family. And especially within the states I'm in, New York, New Jersey area, students are experiencing is classes in person, is classes online, what's today going to bring, and there's a lot of heightened stress and a lot of heightened anxiety. And I think the key to be able to help parents is for parents to first, and it goes back to that oxygen mask, the parents, for them to help themselves. What do they need in that moment to help themselves? Is it self-care? Maybe they need to have a conversation with a friend or a family. Maybe they need a walk. Maybe they need time to meditate. Maybe they need time to go grocery shopping, whatever that may be. The parents, it's important if they're able to delegate tasks so that not everything, especially the females, that everything is not directly on themselves. So delegation of tasks, I think, is one thing that can really help. And when children are experiencing stress or anxiety, and it's very likely, it's again, parents should check into themselves. Are they also experiencing the stress and the anxiety, and are they feeding into what their child's experiencing? Are they able to cultivate that space within themselves so that they can have this openness and space for their child, so that the child feels comfortable to have conversations and to have interaction? What is the stress? What is the anxiety coming from? Is it coming from maybe death? Is it coming from fear of not being able to see friends or family? Is it coming from worrying of not being successful in their classes? Where is this anxiety coming from within the children? And then parents having the ability to have conversations to maybe help lessen and to help reduce, and maybe meditating with the child, maybe watching an inspirational movie, maybe having the child talk to a professional, depending if the anxiety is really heightened and really out of control. And it's maybe also the parent having conversation with the teachers or the principals and advocating and saying that this is too much. This is too much schoolwork. This is too much of a demand. We're struggling as it is in our home, maybe like financially, or we're struggling as it is in our home with our time and our time management. And then on top of that, there's 10 assignments over 1 week. So maybe parents having conversations with the people that are higher up, and especially if the child's coming and saying, I'm really struggling with math or science. So having conversation with teachers, having conversation with the principals, that's also, I think, something that can really help. And to help with the anxiety, and for directly with parents and children, journaling, reading, writing, jogging, healthy eating, sleeping, those are also other things that can really help.
That's great, really great. Kani, just over the few months in virtual world, we have been used to virtual platform these last few months. So I could see in many links one term, that is mindfulness. And I was looking for some friends who are expert and interested to talk in mindfulness. And mindfulness, today's topic is impact of mindfulness during COVID, and frustration, right? Happiness, pressure, mental torture, agony, grievance, and unmet needs of mind, craziness. These all are actually closely aligned to the treatment of mindfulness. So may I request you to explain the term mindfulness? Then I will just go for another question. So how could you explain as a mindful coach and life coach, really?
So I like to define mindfulness as present, and I really like the definition by John Kabat-Zinn, and he says that mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And I feel like that collectively sums up what mindfulness is. So if we kind of dissect that definition a little bit, mindfulness is about non-reactivity. It's about attention, and we have internal dialogue within our mind all the time. We might have thoughts, we might have feelings, and we might have some type of physiological body sensations. On top of that, we have the external world, and we have a tendency to be in this constant go, 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 do, need, want, and we're not really having opportunity to slow down and to be able to connect and to be able to help the connection between our senses, between what am I seeing, what am I feeling, what am I tasting, what am I touching, that allows for us to cultivate awareness, and that allows for us to connect to our joy, to gratitude, to love, and to kindness. And if we're constantly going and doing and going and moving, we're not really having that opportunity for that connection to our innate love and light that's within ourselves. Because our mind has this landscape, and we have this landscape of a switch on or a switch off, and we have a tendency sometimes to get caught in past thinking. I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. Or we have this tendency to get caught up in what if thinking, in planning. What do I need to do today? What do I need to do tomorrow? And this anticipation. And ultimately, it's almost like this continuum. When we have a tendency to be in past-based thinking, that can result in depression and can result in sadness. And when we have a tendency to be focusing in on the future and what if, and especially catastrophizing and procrastinating, it can result in anxiety, and it can lead to anxiety disorder. So really, the place and the medium and the place that we want to be as best as we can is in the present moment. And with mindfulness, we learn over and over and over again, non-judgmentally, how to cultivate being in the right here, right now. Mindfulness, in comparison to our default state, is really how we're reacting to objects, to friends, or to family. And it tends to be very instantaneous. It tends to be a person says something, then I'm upset, I'm angry. A person does something, I'm upset, I'm angry. And when it's raining outside, maybe I'm sad or maybe I'm angry. And there's this charge and this connection to what people are saying, to events that are happening in our lives. And a lot of these situations and circumstances are out of our hands and out of our control. And with mindfulness, and the key is non-judgmentally, the key is acceptance of the as is in the moment. Okay, I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling angry, I'm accepting that, I'm allowing it, I'm watching it ebb and flow in the moment. And through this allows for the cultivation of presitude. It allows for cultivation of being in the right here, right now, not in future-based thinking, not in past-based thinking. And that's how I perceive and view mindfulness: non-judgmental, non-attached.
May I interrupt you? Actually, this is my own curiosity that as a mindful coach, actually my question to you, how do you learn on mindfulness? Actually, this is my curiosity, that how you gain that power of mindfulness and captivating power of people. And second thing is specific, as time constraints here. So can you please, after your interest to learn mindfulness, just specific benefits of mindfulness, especially this time? Okay.
Yes. So there's a lot of different ways for us to incorporate mindfulness in our life. And I think that there's three primal ways: through some type of meditation practice, nature, and some type of movement. I typically incorporate mindfulness through meditation as well as mindful activities throughout my day-to-day life. And how do you do that? There's a key three things that is important to keep in mind with any type of mindfulness, any type of practice. And that is the intention, the attention, as well as the attitude. So the intention typically is present, openness, space. That's usually the intention. And when it comes to the attention of what is happening right here, right now, and the attitude, what is my perspective? What am I observing? Am I cultivating non-judgment, patient, love, and kindness? And the idea with how to cultivate mindfulness, I believe it's through meditation. And how do I do it? I typically am sitting, arms and legs uncrossed, and I use my breath as anchor. Typically, it's in and out of my nostrils. You can use the center of your chest area or your belly area. And through this practice, every time I'm noticing a thought and a feeling or some sensation, I'm going to refocus back onto the breath, refocus back onto the breath. Every time I'm learning to disrupt, allow the thought, feeling, and then disrupt, or notice that I'm getting caught up in what am I going to do tomorrow? What did I do today? What am I going to do in 5 days from now? Every time that I am able to notice that I'm in thinking mind, that I'm getting caught up with my emotion, I accept, I allow, I'm with the as-isness of it, and I refocus back onto the breath. And the refocusing back onto the breath is building that mind muscle. In school, we have opportunity to learn math. 1 + 1 is 2. We have opportunity to learn how to read. We know CAT spells cat. We have opportunity to learn science, and we learn about photosynthesis and the importance of the sun and the soil and the water. But in school, we really don't have opportunity to learn how to mind our mind. And meditation teaches us how to be able to mind our mind. And it's every time cultivating a practice. There's no good practice, there's no bad practice. Every time, if some practices I'll have a lot of thoughts, some practices I'll have very few thoughts. And the idea is every time I'm able to notice, even that slight notice, I'm cultivating mindfulness and I'm building my mind muscle. So when it comes to my everyday life and my interaction, I'm able to learn how to be mindful. I'm
So
reading, I'm reading, I'm writing, I'm writing. And it's that building of that mind muscle. That's how I cultivate it.
amazing, my friend Kani. Actually, I became in horrorsome situation after listening all these tips. Excellent, really excellent. But problem is this time being stuck at home. Most of the cases, right, out of office, children from schools. It's very interactive. It's very fruitful, right? A good posture, positive mind for becoming in practice of mindfulness. Things are all right, but really I will ask you that currently this time actually all capacities sometimes we feel like failure, right, failuresome, that it cannot work. But I do believe if we can practice mindfulness, definitely we might be better. We must stay better, right? So we will be very happy to know that many friends from different parts of the world join and wishes our session community talks as I came back after a long time, approximately 2 months, right? It was before, it was regular in every week, at least 2 or 3 sessions. So just let me read out some of their names. Shravani Mishra wrote, "Welcome, sir, and thanks for pointing out so important things." Dr. Shukti Prabha from India, neighboring country, India. Dr. Shukti, she is very renowned professor there. She is Jain, right? School of Humanity of College of Hindustan. And Murshada Nizar Jahan, good evening, ma'am. Murshid Jahan, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Muhammad Al Khais, from my friend from other country. Good luck in the session. Congrats for all, right? And there are so many more comments. Jens Tripura, congratulations, sir. Shabani, Niyaz Ahmed Deep, Pakmanathan, congratulations, Dr. Imran wrote, and GM Tawhidul Islam Abir. So many other friends are here. New comments are coming. And Saiful Saif, contemporary topics. Thanks. Imran Khan wrote, Sharmin Akhtar Akhi, they all are writing many things here just to congratulate you. Best wishes for us, right?
And you also got a congratulations, right? You received an award. So congratulations to you. It's just incredible.
But the matter is, always I'm just looking for, I'm searching some topic which are really very interesting, very important, right? During this time and helpful for the community people as my passion. I'm a very passionate social worker here, just to address and redress the problem and contemporary issues of the society, of the community. And this time, COVID actually has created so many problems in different diversity, different dimensions. So we have so many options to work for that. And Kani, really, I'm very happy to have you here today. And mindfulness is such a topic I was just looking for, right, for over the last few months. So you are the right person to elaborate this discussion really with me, with our friends, joins here. Can you just point to, I just wrote down something, right, to ask you. Otherwise, I might forget. That's why I'm just saying and asking you that how does mindfulness work? And another thing I would love to ask you, how does mindfulness feel like, right? Actually, if I have that sense of mindfulness, how it feel like within me. And another thing, this all are related, difference of mindfulness and meditation, because I thought so far it's same, mindfulness and meditation same, but in Google's, in internet, I found there is, it might be different, but I don't understand that. So I ask you the difference of mindfulness, okay?
Yes. So the big difference that I like to look at mindfulness is how mindfulness supports meditation and meditation expands mindfulness. When we're learning how to cultivate present moment awareness, that's through some type of meditation practice. Every time noticing a thought or a feeling during the meditation practice, noticing, acknowledging, and then back onto the breath, that's cultivating mindfulness. Mindfulness, I like to define it simply as presitude, and meditation defining as attention onto one thing. It can be an object, it can be on the breath. It's just focusing on one thing in the right here, right now. And by doing this, we can learn how we can take the meditation practice and cultivate mindfulness in our day to day life. We can mindfully eat and walk and sleep and read and write, and it allows us to cultivate being in the present, being in the right here, right now. I think a question that was mentioned was about what does research show about the effects of mindfulness meditation? And there was a study in 2014. They looked, I think it was they did MRIs and PET scans of an individual's brain, and they wanted to discern after, I think it was about 8 to 12 weeks, if there was any neurological changes. And these individuals had a meditation practice for about 8 to 12 weeks, and there were changes in key areas, especially in relation to emotion regulation, especially in the areas which is the amygdala. That's very important for emotion regulation. Other areas that researchers noticed changes was in the corpus callosum, which is very important to connect the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And it's very important for coordination of movement. It's very important for attention, following direction, focusing. Other areas in the brain that they saw and increased neural connectivity was the prefrontal cortex, which is very important for, again, attention, planning, following direction. And through a meditation practice, there is neurological changes in the brain, and individuals that do meditate have a tendency to have better self-regulation, better emotion regulation. They have improved memory because there's a change in the hippocampus in the brain, which is very important for memory. So collectively, not only is it having an impact of being present right here, right now, is maybe there's a reduction in stress and anxiety and maybe pain or depression. In addition, there is actual physical changes in the brain with the meditation practice, and research has discerned and showed that. So collectively, the power of learning how to be on the breath, sitting 2 minutes, maybe starting a gradual practice and then increasing to 5, 15, and then ideally to about 15, 20 minutes every day can transform and will transform an individual's life. And firsthand, I've had experience of where especially in my school age years and my late teenage years, I was constantly in stress and anxiety and fear, and I was so fidgety and on the fly, a lot of what it thinking, and I could not sit for like the life of me. And
all right. I'm coming back to you. There are so exciting comments are here, right? Few friends joined from different parts, right? Imran bin Rauf just wrote, it was a great surprise to both of them today. Don't plan for the future. I can make people aware of wearing mask. I mentioned earlier that we have declared by our foundation and university with some other government and non-government organizations to wear mask campaign towards a social movement. Only solution, only protective measures from COVID. Slightly there is mask. That's why we declared wear mask, prevent COVID. This is our slogan towards a social movement. That's why Imran bin Rauf wrote that, and Vladimir Alexis Chiaton from Argentina. Hello, Vladimir. Long time after, really. I'm seeing you today. Farhad wrote, congratulations. Love you, sir. Saiful Islam Saib, expecting this topic will be benefiting young generations. Farhad Ali wrote, congratulations, sir. Saiful, contemporary topics. And Sharmin, and comments are coming, actually, even in inbox coming, right? So many comments are here, right? And Sharmin Aki wrote, Assalamu alaikum, sir. I missed your lifetime very much. You do live regularly. I'm very inspired to see you live. Actually, I do believe many of my friends missed it over last 2 months. I couldn't hold this session. This is a regular session, of course, and this community talks. This is completely a global platform. Many friends watch even after the session. They comment me in Messenger, in Facebook, email, right? Even in calls sometime that, Habib, are you okay? You weren't hosting the session, so what's wrong with you? That's why I feel that this is my responsibility. At least 1 week, I decided to come in prom with my friends just to share and care as a motivator, as a teacher, as a social worker, as a companion, right? So I do believe this is our duty to make people aware, make people cherished, make people caring sometime. So, Kani, may I ask you two more questions actually that is in my mind. One is who the people, particularly which group? It might be the kids, might be the infant, might be the teenage, right? Toddler. It might be the adult class, might be the old age or elderly people, or aged class. This is actually my class. I mean, what should be or which class should be more or mostly benefited by mindfulness practice? This is one. The first thing. Second is what are the some beginning techniques? I mean, if I practice or start practicing mindfulness, what should be the beginning practice to start mindfulness? If I want to start it from tomorrow, right? This is the second question. And just third one is how can how can mindfulness practice enhance our everyday life? Like, if I exemplify this, occasionally or more often, we become frustrated, we become upset, we become some obnoxious situation, right? Uncontrolled. We're revoking our students, revoking parents, children. So, how actually we can be benefited by mindfulness in daily life? This overall, I think you can just put on.
Sorry,
Um,
what was the first question that you just asked? I missed it.
First question: who should be the or what aged people or what should be the age limit, right?
Okay. Okay, so I think that I think starting from the age of 7 or 8 years old, that's a good age to start. I think everyone and anyone can benefit from mindfulness and a mindfulness meditation practice. Where to start and how to start with a meditation practice. I would say the first way that I learned was using my five senses every day, 2 minutes, 5 minutes a day, just sitting, five things that I can see, four things that I can smell, three things that I can hear, two things that I can touch, and maybe one thing that I can taste within my mouth. That's a great starter way. There are some great starter apps, Insight Timer, Headspace, Calmac. Those are also really great starters. And the key, I would say, is gradually increasing a person's practice, starting 2 minutes for the first week or two, then gradually increasing to 4 minutes to 5 minutes to 8 minutes, and ideally to get to about 15 minutes. And how can mindfulness enhance every person's everyday life? And like I mentioned, there's neurological changes within the brain. It can help with memory, attention, following directions, social skills. And I think the key collectively of what I'm noting, the key is acceptance. Is acceptance of my thoughts, acceptance of my feeling, allowing for that. And then when I'm able to take that pause, cultivate that slowness, it allows an individual to transform their life with their socialization, with their friends, with their family, with their grades, and with everything and anything that they do.
That's great. Just one thing, just to time, this so for this year, the whole year, we are passing through online education, and developing countries or the third world countries, they are not so developed in terms of, and even they were not prepared of online version of education. And a huge portion, a percentage, children, students, they are becoming frustrated. Even the family, I mean, the parents becoming frustrated not to provide support to their children for education materials, mobile phone, laptop, internet connections, right?
Yeah.
I know the situation is different from US and other parts of the world, might be, but just can you share today's situation? We can see in media that approximately 2,000 people die every day in America this time. So, what is happening there around your community, right?
I'm currently in New York, New Jersey, and we're going into lockdown mode. At this point, the public schools are completely online. Some private schools are in person. There is rumor that the schools will be online as well. there's definitely spikes. Hospitals are getting ready and they're anticipating a lot more patients, unfortunately, coming in, and the need for um, ICU as well as the need for alternative measures. There's hospitals are starting to fill up slowly but surely, and it's definitely a concern. And I think the key and the importance of wearing a mask, maintaining the social distance, really not traveling as best as you can. I think that's a way to help prevent the spread because we are starting to re-go into lockdown in my area.
Very good. We are also facing challenges, but it's very tough to start lockdown because it hampers economy, right? It hampers job, it hampers daily livelihood, and people, remarkable number, they even lost their job, lost their business. So it also creates some problem, mental problem, economic problem, communication, other problem. That's why government now is very serious. People, even conscious people, sometimes they're announcing that we should wear mask. We have to continue all business, but we have to maintain healthy measures, right? Protective measures of COVID-19. And just one thing, we are end of the session, dear friends. Those who are watching this session will be watching after the session. Please join us. Community talks in YouTube, community talks in Facebook. This is completely a community talks about virtual platform just to keep a belief in the point, sharing is caring. As a social worker, I thought during this COVID, what can I do for the people? I start then and there hosting the session, inviting so many friends, scholars of different professions, different areas, skills, just to share people not wasting time, spending quality time with our foreign friends, national friends through an interaction process. And I do believe this is a platform which is making connections among many friends of the world. They're just making some connections, making interacted each other based on this platform sometimes. So I'm very happy actually to make them connected, to make them interacted each other, becoming interactive. And this time we are just listen to say that this time social capital is not money, social capital is connectivity, communication, each other. And Kani, you will be very happy to know, as an academician, I'm not stopped within the classroom. I love to communicate the people out of that classroom. I do believe after just producing students, if we just give them knowledge and let them go without skills and experiences, they might be ruined, they might be frustrated, they might be ruthless, reckless, and trackless sometimes. So I do believe firmly, if we can, as a teacher, if we can make a connection between the students and the community, the business, the platforms, the society, the people of the society, definitely they could understand. They might utilize their experience and transfer this experience, turn this experience to knowledge to skills, then they might have a better future. That's why I have started my foundation, that is Community Talks YouTube, Community Talks BD Facebook, but my foundation name is Community Social Work Practice and Development Foundation. This is basically working for the young students as a mentorship platform, just mentoring them, capacity building, leadership building, right? Motivational, research work, training providing, and drug addictions, disadvantaged group of people, just to make them align. So many things we have planned really, and we will be very happy to know in Bangladesh, under my leadership, we have started to celebrate World Social Work Day since 2014-15. And now this is a big platform. And last few days, four years, we have been organizing 2 days long, 2-day international conference. And unfortunately, this year it was supposed to be held on March 21st and 22nd, but we could bound to stop this because of COVID pandemic. And we invited approximately guests from 15 countries. They confirmed me to come, but problem is, unfortunately, on 15th of March, we bound to declare postponement of this conference, unfortunately. So again, we are planning next year, hopefully. If it's physical, it's not possible, we will host it in virtual and physical both way construction composition, so foreign friends can join. You also will join, I hope so. And this is really a very interactive and collective options of gathering, sharing, caring to this platform. So hopefully, Kani, you will be joining us again some days, and you will be working with us, being our far-reaching friend from America for mindfulness, for coaching, life coach, right? Redressing frustration. So we are end of the session, dear friends. Please share it more and let other friends to watch this session with Kani and me on this Community Talks BD platform. So Kani, this is for you for the last minute talk. This is the formalities and procedure of this Community Talks BD platform. This last 60 seconds for you. I mean, 1 minute. What you love to say for this platform from to me and also the audience and other friends who are watching.
First off, thank you. Thank you for all that you do to the world. It's just really incredible and inspiring. And I know that there is a variety of people that are watching from 18 to 25 to 35 to 85. And we're all living in times of heightened uncertainty, whether we live in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Europe, United States. We're all experiencing anxiety and stress and maybe sadness. And it's the importance of realizing that we're all in this together, we're all united, and we all are one. Depending on our stages, depending on where we are in our life, we're all having the stress, we're all having the anxiety. And if we can know that these are moments in time, life is impermanent, especially during the times of challenging, having this mantra that I can do this and I got this, and these are moments in time. And it's just noting that I'm doing the best that I can. We're all having challenges. We're all struggling. We're all in this together, no matter where you are, no matter what your age is, and know that you can do this and you got this, and you can do anything you set your heart and your mind. And I like to say, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And it's all about cultivating that steps, especially now if there's not maybe opportunity for work or you're having some free time, especially as the holiday approaches. If you have a passion, you can use this free time as opportunity to be able to develop that. And I'm just incredibly humbled and honored to have had conversation with everyone today. So thank you.
Thank you, Kani. It's my honor that you just joined me, and after a long conversation between you and me, actually, last day I'm happy to have you here with me today. And I would like to just share my last words with a request to all of the audience, friends, home and abroad. Those who are watching this show will be watching. Please wear mask, save life. Wear mask, prevent COVID partially at least. And just make a social movement of awareness. You and your family members can protect yourself by wearing mask only when you are out of home. Please spread the light among all people around you. Just tell them to wear mask to partially prevent COVID. So we are here, and I can assure you from next week, at least in a month, I must try to host 4 sessions. 1 session every week. 1 session every week. Otherwise, it's really very tough, and it creates some hearing problem. Excessive use of device is very actually tough to control hearing and stay safe. So I just convey my humble gratitude to all of you, to Kani, my friend, and of course Almighty. Till today, we all are alive and safe and healthy after this 8-month, 9-month long pandemic. So gratitude to Almighty, last of all. Stay safe, prevent COVID, wear mask, keep sound health. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Good night from Bangladesh. Kani, good morning. Thank you.
Thank you.